Moments away from tip-off, Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. The starting five for both sides. You know, Casey, we've talked about the pace, the tempo, especially for Oklahoma State and the backcourt. But how about the front court for these two teams?
Yeah, Oklahoma center Mo Wagee has got his hands full tonight. And we talked to Porter Moser, the head coach for Oklahoma, about this matchup between him and Fala. Fala has been on fire, folks, especially from the post. Wagee's got to be able to be disciplined tonight. Don't go for shot fakes because Fala's going to give you one, sometimes not even two, even three shot fakes on one possession.
On the benches, Steve Lutz, year number 2 in Stillwater. One of the biggest games he's coached in his brief time leading the Cowboys. His second ever Bedlam meeting. On the other side, Porter Moser, back-to-back 20-win seasons. He guided the Sooners back to the tournament last year. Had great success years ago with Loyola Chicago, Sweet 16 and the Final Four. His now 5th year in Norman. Oklahoma State, the home team on this neutral site matchup. Second straight year these two programs have met here at the home of the Thunder. And we are underway, controlled by Oklahoma. Sooners have won the last 3 in this meeting between these in-state rivals. This the 251st all-time meeting. Pack on the head fake. Takes the mid-range 2. And controlled by the Sooners. Into the corner. Reed backing down. Xavier Brown at the elbow with now 5 to shoot. Long possession, Davis. No good. Offensive glass. Wagee foul.
Well, Aaron, we asked both head coaches what their keys to the game, and both of them mentioned rebound. For Oklahoma State, Steve Lutz has said, we have to keep Oklahoma from getting those second chance opportunities. They love to kick out for open threes for Nigel Pack, and they got to keep their bigs out of foul trouble.
Wagee short on the first. 11 points and a career best 14 boards recently in a win over Wake Forest.
Aaron, I think Wagee is the X factor for the Sooners. I know that's a kind of a cliche phrase, but I think it fits Wagee. In their wins, in the Oklahoma wins, he's averaging 10 points and 8 rebounds. In their losses, just 2 points and 6 rebounds. So a nice offensive opportunity for him.
He misses both. First-year full-time starter. First possession for Oklahoma State. Fowler up by the three-point line. Victorious Miller is back. This time a 3 put up on the wing. No good by Anthony Roy, who's been in double figures all 6 games he's played. Pack cut up on the drive twice. Pack. 3. Too strong.
Yeah, Clary dodged a bullet there. His hands were in his pockets on that closeout.
Roy hits. 41% from downtown this year. Anthony Roy with his first triple today.
He's an instant scorer. If you've watched him last year, one of the top scorers in the country before an injury cut his year short for Green Bay.
The other way. Back to the 3.
Anthony Roy, this is his 14th made 3 on the season, shooting 41%. He's a guy, Aaron, that he's a scorer, but he scores in bunches. Like, you can hold him down for 10 minutes at a time, or maybe even a half, and then you look up and he's got 10 or 12 in the course of 5 minutes.
Follow the Oregon State transfer, who's been so good in the post again this year, backing down his bread and butter. Offensive glass. Mandzukic. Parts of 8 years in the Greek Basketball League. Lefteris Mandzukic. From the corner. No good. That time by Darion Reed.
Darion Reed's really been struggling, coming off his worst shooting game of the season. 0 for 7 for Darion Reed. Really talented player. Another guy that Porter Moser would love to see get off to a fast start offensively. And so far, the Sooners with a goose egg on the board.
Davis kicks out. Xavier Brown, he buries it from the corner, and the Sooners are on the board.
But don't blink, folks, because this Oklahoma State Cowboy team is going to run it on makes or misses.
Roy hunts his second. Too strong. And a big rebound, Tay Davis, senior out of Indianapolis. Pushes Davis, left hand. Rebound, Fowler.
Well, even though Tay Davis missed that, a beautiful end-to-end display of his skill set. Number 13 in red is as versatile as it gets.
Larry, the Mississippi State transfer. He's got an open look. Loose ball, boy, really hit the deck hard. That was Mohamed Wagee. Pack able to hold on and spin cycle into a deep two, and he buries his first bucket.
One of the things that's unique about Nigel Pack, besides the fact that he's only 5 foot 10 inches tall, is his quick hairpin trigger release. He barely dips the ball at all.
Victorious Miller fades, misses. Fowler kind of swatted at it, but it's controlled by Oklahoma.
This game could turn into a track meet, folks. These teams love to put the ball in the basket, and they don't want to settle.
Davis fades. Would that favor, if it did turn into a track meet, would that favor the Cowboys?
I believe it would, yes. This is averaging more than 91 points a game. This Oklahoma State Cowboy offense, they don't shoot a lot of threes. They want to get out in transition, attack the rim, and play a little bit of one-on-one like right here, Anthony Roy.
Roy trying to create a shot with the left hand, can't finish near the rim. Brown slowing it down a little bit. Sooners leading assist man.
Watch Pack in the corner.
Reed up top. And he buries. 8-0 run for the Sooners.
So far doing a really nice job, Oklahoma Sooners defensively, limiting the post touches for Fowler.
Miller, pretty jump stop, and rattles it through his first points.
So you can already tell the offensive arsenal that Oklahoma State has with their guards in particular.
And there was looked like maybe an inadvertent bump. That was Wagee who got Victorious Miller right in the face. The officials talking things over right now. Yeah, well, on a replay. Oklahoma leading Oklahoma State 8-7. Mohamed Wagee with an elbow up to the throat of Victorious Miller as we were going to break.
This is just one of those mistakes that you just can't make in a game like this. And Mo Wagee knows better than that. And he's going to take a seat on the bench because of it. And we asked Porter Moser about, I asked him who are his best defensive players are on the team, and he said Tay Davis and Mo Wagee. And Wagee needs to be on the floor tonight. He needs to avoid foul trouble because we need his presence inside. And right there, it's just a mistake. You take yourself out of this game for no reason.
It's a flagrant 1 foul. And Moser saying today, discipline on fouling. He was speaking more to the point of you can't foul bad shots, but this certainly would fall in an extreme bucket with that as well. So 2 made free throws for Miller. Oklahoma State now up by 1 in the early moments here.
We've talked a lot about how both of these teams can score the ball, Aaron, but they do it drastically different. The Cowboys are fast, of course, but they do their damage driving to the rim, around the basket. And the Sooners, they're more methodical and love to shoot the 3. It's a fascinating, I always say styles makes fights. And I think this one is going to be so interesting to see how it plays out.
Miller airballs 3 new Cowboys on the floor after that timeout, including Christian Coleman, who's maybe one of the best athletes in the entire conference. down an early three-pointer. Dump off pass, a pretty look and a finish. Vukovic out of Serbia.
A really nice pass there from Anthony Roy, who's been uber aggressive on every touch. He's not a guy that just keeps the ball moving. He looks to score every time the ball touches his fingertips.
Jones, Jadon Jones, 3-and-D guy, knocks down his first shot.
Averaging 7.5 points off the bench. Both these teams rely on their bench. Certainly the Oklahoma State bench is more lethal, though.
Corner three, and it's bagged on the other end. Anthony Roy hits his second.
A defensive mistake by Jadon Jones, who just scored a bucket on one end and then just relaxes. Who are you guarding? One of the best scorers in the Big 12 Conference, and Anthony Roy.
This is Kai Rogers with a paint touch. Limited minutes this year, and a foul on Oklahoma State.
We've already had 5 made threes combined in this game. You better have your hand up early if you're a defender. That's Jadon Jones off the bench, and then here, that's just a bad mistake, helping off the strong side. One of the easiest three-point looks that Anthony Roy has had all season. He now has 15 made threes so far.
Substitutions on both sides. Pack out for the Sooners. Miller, Victorious Miller, out for the Cowboys.
Good to see Forsythe, number 7 in red, back on the floor. He sprained his right ankle in their last game. He is an Oklahoma kid.
Has not practiced all week. He takes and gets swatted near the rim by Coleman.
Christian Coleman was wide open, Aaron, for an alley-oop dunk, and Curry just didn't see him.
Roy, paint touch and a kick. And it's Oklahoma ball.
Number 4 in white, Christian Coleman, probably the best athlete on the floor today. Long arms, super bouncy, and if he can make an impact like that, this Oklahoma State defense, it's one of the areas that Steve Lutz, their head coach, he wants more consistent effort from everybody, not just Christian Coleman on the defensive end.
What did Coach Lutz say about Coleman? The good Lord touched him?
He did, with athleticism. Yes, he did.
Oh, 3 knocked down. Jadon Jones, a couple of them in limited minutes off the bench already.
Big time spark, and Jadon, it's transferred from Long Beach State. He's actually a Big West former defensive player of the year, but showing that he's a two-way player. You're seeing his defense right now.
Curry, foul, count it.
So the Cowboys have 2 point guards. You saw Kanye Clary first. He took the first 5 minutes of this one, and then they insert Jalen Curry, who's much more of a scoring point guard. They are both left-handed. Right there, Jalen Curry getting to that strong hand. Both Clary and Curry average 5 assists each. So you're getting 10 assists a game at the point guard spot. That's why this offense, it's one of the reasons why this Cowboy offense is so lethal.
Curry, the UMass transfer, averaging 15 a game. To make it a 3-point play. Too strong. And this is held on to by Forsythe. And Forsythe from Dale, Oklahoma, 3-time high school state champion, former Oklahoma Player of the Year. This game means a lot to him. Deep 2, knocked down Xavier Brown.
And I asked Porter Moser if there's one guy offensively that you would like to see get in a rhythm early in this game. He said without question, Xavier Brown.
Curry left open. He has struggled from behind the arc this year. Davis
pass
on the kick out. Jones, and almost. That would have been his third.
So far, I feel like the best offensive possessions for the Oklahoma Sooners has been when Tay Davis grabs a rebound and pushes the break himself.
Well, that's stripped. Forsythe pushing the other way. And Coleman just happened to be Johnny on the spot right there to keep Forsythe from putting it up. And now the Sooners will reset. 6 on the shot clock. Davis. Wow. At the backboard, knocked away. Watch out. That's the foul on Kai Rogers. Well, you thought this might have some tempo, Casey.
Bedlam, I love it. 16-16. Don't go anywhere, folks.
On the right, about 20 miles away from the man on the left.
Those two guys.
Now,
they're buddies?
They seem like they're pretty good friends. What do you
really?
say?
Or they're just random seatmates for tonight?
They're getting along all right. It is early.
Yeah, it's early, and we're tied, so they don't have any beefs yet. All right, we'll come back to those two gentlemen over there and see how this plays out. But it makes sense that this game would be played here at the Paycom Center in Oklahoma City. By the way, the Oklahoma City Thunder are 24-1, Aaron, doing a lot of winning in this building. They're 12-0 at home, and one of these Oklahoma teams is going to get a win today.
A big day here in OKC. The women's teams will be playing right after the men's team. Both those two teams ranked. A foul on the way up as Wagee is back on the floor now after that flagrant earlier.
So, Aaron, we've talked a lot about the Cowboys and their dual point guards in Clary and Curry. Oklahoma Sooners, on the other hand, don't really have a traditional point guard. You would say Xavier Brown would be that guy, but I've already mentioned it a couple times. Number 13 in red, Tay Davis, is one of those forwards who can be a point guard. They've run this situation already 3 different times where they run a pick and roll for him, and he's the power forward on this team.
Wagee gets both. It's a 1-point Sooners lead about midway through the first half. Screen for Clary, almost lost it. Now they're trying to feed the post, and Fowler, who's doubled up.
Early double.
Clary kicks out. A little Euro step. Miller. Forsythe thought about pulling up. Jones pull-up pass into the paint and denied by Coleman. A 3 instead, and Nigel Pack, who's been kind of quiet by his standards for the first 10 minutes.
Not quiet for long, though. You cannot relax even for a second, especially on offensive rebound. Know where he's at.
No good from Curry. Pack gets the loose ball and pushes. Pack's 6-year player wants another, and he finds it. Biggest lead of the day so far for Oklahoma. What were you saying about not for long for Nigel Pack?
We have 2 microwave scorers on the floor, Anthony Roy and Nigel Pack.
A little window opens up for Curry.
That was Clary, and low to the ground, 6 feet tall, but really uses his off shoulder, his right shoulder, to create space in the lane.
Pack bumped, kicks out. Another 3, Davis too strong.
But Tay Davis really struggling. 2 for 20 from the 3-point line this season.
Coleman lost it. And Sooners ball. That was Wagee who hit the deck. Jones, open window. Oklahoma State ball.
Nigel Pack, one of the top 3-point shooters in the country. 65% of his total shots are threes. This is exactly what he wants to do. And in transition, don't back up. Make him drive to the rim, because that's going to be the result when you back up. And then just making the simple play. I talked about using that off shoulder to bump off and create space. That time, Clary, even though he's tiny, getting in the lane.
He averages about 8 a game.
I shouldn't say tiny. He's just short. He's really sturdy, though.
Clary trying to direct a little traffic. Shot clock now under 10. With the left-hand fades, barely got the iron, and Miller able to get a fresh 20.
Wow, nice
what
pass.
a nice pass into the corner. Miller regains again. Roy. Cowboys continue to hold on to it.
Wow, look look at Porter Moser, too. He's looking at his bench. Somebody get in the game that can rebound. Here it is again.
My goodness, Clary weaving.
Well, Aaron, long shots are going to create long rebounds. All 5 Sooners need to do their job.
Miller not fouled. And Cowboys are saying, how about a foul on that one? It goes out of bounds. Maybe that's the way Oklahoma gets the ball back. Oh, what a thriller so far. 5-point lead, Oklahoma over Oklahoma State in the first half. To say the least in recent years. Last time they were a ranked team, you have to go back to March of 2021 for a 4-week stretch.
Yeah, and they're not ranked right now, but if the AP poll, Aaron, were expanded, the Cowboys are receiving votes. They would be ranked 27th in the country. And I think if the Cowboys win this game today, they will be ranked in a few days' time.
Such an important game on both sides. And let's say in all of his conversations with all those in Stillwater, a little hang time, and out of bounds will stay here. And people coming up to him saying, hey, the 9-0 is great. The perfect start is terrific. But none of it matters if you lose Bedlam.
I hear that. I hear fans. But, you know, Steve Lutz also has an appreciation that this is a marathon season, not a sprint. Of course, this game is important. But the Cowboys are a surprise team, Aaron. 9-0. Their expectations were pretty low. They were picked to finish 12th in the Big 12. The Big 12 has 16 teams, by the way. I know it's hard to keep up sometimes at home, but...
2 to shoot. Grazes the rim from Brown. That's a shot clock violation.
Been really impressed with the individual defensive effort by Oklahoma State point guard Kanye Clary, regardless of who he's on. Low center of gravity, doesn't give ground.
Let's see what happened here.
Does it hit the rim? It does.
Yeah. Pretty clearly there. You can hear it in real time. Curry and Clary on the floor at the same time. 2 guards for the Cowboys. Curry's hand pulls up, free throw line, and he knocks it down.
So far, the 3-point shot has not been very kind to the Cowboys offense, but that mid-range game has been.
Well, the 3-ball game for the Sooners, a different story. Koala Talk.
He is a shooter. 33 of his 44 shots are from 3. That is what he wants on the offensive end, despite his height.
He just checked in. 50% from distance for the Sooners so far. Spin, fade away, Clary getting it done. Under the 6-minute mark in the first half. Whips a pass to Brown. And a foul.
Oh, wow.
They say on the shot.
They're calling that a 2-shot foul on Clary, who I was just about to commend again for his individual defense. And maybe the referee got it right, as we're going to take a look at the replay. But in real time, this looked to be all ball to me where we're sitting. Oh my, that to me is a jump ball or a play on. Clary, he's so strong. He did have his right hand did wrap up a little bit on the second replay, so the referees actually did get that one right.
Victorious Miller checking back in. He missed the last game with an ankle injury, averaging 16 a game for the Cowboys, so a big boost to have him back in the lineup.
You see Xavier Brown's numbers on the screen right there. He was shot out of a cannon in the first 3 games of the season. 19 points per game in those first 3. The last 5, he has struggled a little bit with his 3-point shot, only averaging 10 points per game in the last 5. And coming into this one, he was 0 for his last 14 from 3. So he's a very talented scorer who's trying to find it.
Injured his ankle against Alcorn State fairly early in the season, and Porter Moser saying that the week off this week without a game has really helped him. I feel like he's getting back into the groove now. Little chin fake and loose ball, and it's recovered by Brown.
A zone look defensively. We've seen that several times, certainly against Marquette in the second half. Helped them win that game. 2-3 zone from the Sooners.
Pack in the corner, Miller on him. fading. And he hits it. Biggest lead now for the Sooners as Pack has reached double digits.
Vukovic was posting aggressively, wanted a touch, and the Cowboys haven't gotten very many touches down low in the post.
Roy with the triple. That's his third. No foul. Brown with the pass up top. Jones, and he counters on the other end.
And here come the Cowboys, and this game is so much fun, folks. This is exactly what I hoped for.
Loose ball. Jones pushing. Pack. Behind the back, lost it. Rogers into the corner. Mid-range two, no good. That was missed by a talk.
The right move by a talk, but you got to make that extra pass. They bring a secondary help defender. That means that your teammates have a 4-on-3 opportunity on the weak side.
At the 4-minute mark in this first half. Roy driving, hanging against three, make it two defenders. Fouled on his way up.
Jadon Jones off the bench, the lefty, find him. It's not just Nigel Pack. This Sooners team's got a ton of shooters.
All right, Mike, thank you. Under 4 minutes to play here in the first half. Oklahoma in front in large part because of what they have done from behind the arc. They're 8 for 15 from downtown.
Aaron, the Oklahoma Sooners are a jump shooting team. That is the strength. That's what they want to do. 47% of their total shots coming in are from three. That ranks 52nd in the country. Well, today against this Cowboys defense, they're going in. 8 made threes, and we still have 4 minutes to go in the first half, and it's not just Nigel Pack, as you see him right there, but 5 different Sooners have already made a three, and Jadon Jones coming off the bench doing his job as well, and Porter Moser's got to be really happy about his offensive performance.
Well, their season high watermark is 14 made threes. They're over halfway there. Meanwhile, Roy's first points that have not been from behind the arc, he's got a team high 11 points.
You see the bench points right there on your screen, and this Oklahoma State team is one of the top benches in the country as far as point production. Hasn't been the case so far.
Pack left open just long enough from the elbow. What do you made of Parsifaldo so far? He's been pretty quiet offensively.
He's only gotten 1 touch. You remember on the block, and it was an early double team, and I'm wondering if Steve Lutz and the Cowboys offensively are like, maybe we shouldn't go to Fowler in the post. But the dude's averaging 24.5 points a game his last 2 games. Gets 1 block there.
Yeah, there's McGee on the deflection. 7 to shoot now. Curry, that's a little awkward. And the final result was as well. Let's see, that was touched, was it, on the baseline? It's Oklahoma ball. Yeah, Fowler to finish the point, coming off 24 and 25-point performances. He's been in double figures all but 1 game. We were told earlier today by Coach Steve Lutz that he's been dealing with a back issue very recently. It happened in practice.
Yeah, it's actually an important point. As you can tell, he's laboring a little bit. You see him walking gingerly to the bench right now. He certainly has not been himself, which has been a scoring machine in the post over the last week or so.
Yeah, he does not look comfortable at all. Turnover into the hands of Curry. Tucks it like a running back, feeds it, and the finish right there by Vukovic. That was pretty.
You said tucked it like a running back. I played in the NBA for the Phoenix Suns with Stephon Marbury. That looked exactly like Stephon Marbury back in the day, getting into the lane and then the last second making the decision.
McGee so long, taking it all the way to the rim.
After an awkward start for McGee with that flagrant foul and the 2 missed free throws, he has inserted himself back in here.
A foul, Pack. First on Nigel Pack.
Left-hand point guards for Oklahoma State. When you guard, you got to know they're lefty. Don't let them get to that strong hand. And that time a great dump-off finish. And then McGee, remember, shook off that tough beginning and is sticking with it.
Curry, fearless, hits the floor hard and is just now getting up. Out of bounds. Jadon Jones with a turnover. 6-point Oklahoma lead, just over 2 minutes to play in the first half.
I've been there many times, Jadon. Trust me, running the wing, Aaron, there is not a lot of space. If you're running the wing on the transition and you spot up in the corner, there is not a lot of space in here, folks. And so if you take that
finish by Reed. Great ball movement by the Sooners. Darian Reed that time with the bucket. Under 90 seconds to play in half number 1. Miller, step back, and he buries the 3. Victorious Miller from downtown.
In a defensive miscommunication, they needed to switch that. There was no talk, there was no pointing. Victorious Miller had his choice of whether he wanted a 2-pointer or a 3.
Jones after the fake. Ball movement for the Sooners. Pack wants a triple himself. Too strong. Pack gets it back. Oklahoma State wanted a foul. Forsythe with a little forearm shiver. Reed, corner pocket, no. Jones, the hustle play. Miller, and it's loose, controlled by Curry. Under a minute to go in the first half. The handoff, watch out, and no good. Curry, hook pass, and a foul. Wow, what a sequence that was.
Offensive rebounds are a theme. We're going to keep an eye on them. 6 offensive rebounds for both teams. But this is what I'm talking about with Anthony Roy on an island against Dayton Forsythe. Getting to that strong left hand again. And then there, where is the switch? No one's talking. No one's pointing. Darian Reed looking around like, what am I supposed to do? Not just hang out in the paint and let Victorious Miller rain 3s on you. That's what I would recommend.
Looked like he maybe got flicked in the eye a little bit or somewhere in the face. He was kind of wincing as he made his way to the bench momentarily, but he's all right. Corner touch for Miller. Gives it up, Vukovic, and it rolls out. Loose ball, Sooners, under 30 seconds to play. Shot clock turned off.
Well, Porter wants a timeout here.
And he gets it with just under 21 seconds to play in the first half. A 3-point Oklahoma lead.
How many bodies have been on the floor, Aaron, in the last 2 minutes? I mean, by my calculation, every single guy in a uniform has dove on the floor for a loose ball in the last couple of possessions, several offensive rebounds. It is a rugby scrum underneath the basket on every shot.
Overall, the first half that you imagined?
Oh, this is lovely. Yes. You know, last year, Oklahoma Sooners dominated this game. They won by 15, but it wasn't even really that close.
They never trailed.
They never trailed. And, you know, honestly, both of these rosters are revamped. There's not very many players in a uniform tonight that were in that game. And so, you know, this rivalry, while it has a lot of history to the people in the stands, a lot of these players, this is their first time. But this Oklahoma State offense is so much fun. The tempo at which they play at, folks, they rank 7th in the nation in tempo. They're second fastest amongst power conference teams. But credit Oklahoma for building a wall, limiting those transition opportunities. And there's the tempo that you're looking at. So in Oklahoma's 56, that's not like slow, folks. There's 364 Division I men's basketball teams, but there are a few that get up and down like the Cowboys.
In Pack's hand with now 10 seconds to go. Pack. Wow, this is point the 3 to finish off the first half. Wow. Timeout, Oklahoma State. Nigel Pack's 3rd triple.
An incredible shot. However, Nigel Pack is one of the best. To not be up, Anthony Roy, to not be up early and aggressive with a hand up is inexcusable. It really is. Now, having said that, Nigel Pack, tip of the cap to you, sir. That is a 28-foot bomb. Even the Oklahoma City Thunder would have been impressed by that one.
Yeah, last game for Pack did not go well. It was his only game this year without multiple threes, just 7 points. Today, 3 for 5 from downtown, already 13 points in total. One of the top scorers in the country, 17 a game. One of the great shooters in the country.
Aaron, he's made 351 threes in his career. I mean, and you know, studying these teams, the 2 most consistent offensive players for Oklahoma have been Nigel Pack and Tay Davis. Nigel has only had that 1 bad game. That's it.
Curry with a head of steam to Miller. It'll count, and it's short. Oh, what a fun first half. Bedlam in Oklahoma City. It's the Sooners on top of the Cowboys, 41-35. We'll send you out to Los Angeles for the Lincoln Financial Halftime Show. Right after this, you're watching Fox College Hoops. Oklahoma, Bedlam for the 251st time and the second ever meeting as non-conference foes. Oklahoma with the halftime lead over their in-state rivals, Oklahoma State, trying to protect a perfect 9-0 record they bring to the court here in OKC. Our first half stats, a real storyline. The Sooners three-point shooting, 50%. They've knocked down 9 triples. It's the most they've made in the first half all season long. Glad to have you with us here in Oklahoma City. Aaron Goldsmith and Casey Jacobson. We know this game is different, and it looked and felt that way as well.
Yeah, you know, if I were to describe the first half, Aaron, in 2 words, fast and physical, but it was also well played. Each team with only 4 turnovers, but credit Oklahoma Sooners defense for slowing down this high-powered Cowboys offense, coming in averaging 91 points a game, only 35 in the first half.
Well, we began the game talking about Nigel Pack, one of the great shooters in the country. Almost 2,000 career points. This is 6th year of college basketball. Pack maybe a little quiet to start, but man, he scored fast.
Yeah, and it was a bounce-back opportunity for Nigel Pack, coming off his worst game of the season, just 7 points last Saturday against Arizona State. He is a master at moving without the basketball, creating space off the bounce with his dribble. 13 points, that leads the Sooners in the first half. And then where would the Cowboys offensively be without Anthony Roy? He came off the bench in their first 3 games of the season, but has started his last 5. He is aggressive all the time. He also had 13 points to lead the Cowboys. And I expect more from him in the second half.
Impact players from the first half. Jaden Jones with 3 3-pointers of his own. After we talk about all the 3-point shots made by the Sooners. And Victorious Miller, who missed the last game because of an ankle injury, a game-time decision in the starting lineup today. But this is not a good sign for the Cowboys. Parsifala, who we were told before the game suffered a bit of a back injury, back spasm of some form in practice yesterday. It doesn't look good for his return.
And he's basically, to me, the lone back-to-the-basket post consistent presence for the Cowboys. Let's see how they adjust.
Deep 3 put up by Mandzukic right away. No good. Oklahoma 6-3 coming into this one. Oklahoma State, meanwhile, just on the outside looking into the top 25.
Oh, had the roll. Wagee wide open there. Brown missed him.
Pack weaving, deflected. And there's the hands of Vukovic.
Aaron, that's when it stinks to be 5'10". You know how that feels. You get in that colored paint area, and there's a bunch of trees, and you have to be creative with your passing angles.
Mandzukic weaving. Roy thinking about it. Trying to create off the bounce. Won't go through. And here comes Pack pushing it for the Sooners. Pack, little start-stop. High off the glass, and Roy has it come to him. Clary behind the back to the elbow. Pretty pass, and it's not held on to. It will stay on this end. That was Mandzukic.
We have a lot of small players on the floor, but I always say the smaller you are, guys like Nigel Pack and Kanye Clary, the smaller you are, the more creative you have to be, and they are that.
Couple of good fakes, and he misses the bunny. Mandzukic right there, laid up for him. Davis hanging on the other end. Tay Davis, his first points.
Just one of those, you know, swinging plays. You miss a bunny, and then you give up a layup at the other end as Xavier Brown gets called for the foul. You have to wonder if Parsifala was in the game and he was healthy. Is this a 2-point bucket? He's not. It's a miss. And then what happens? The Sooners capitalize on the other end. I've mentioned several times already, and I'll do it again. Tay Davis, one of the more versatile players. He grabs a rebound. He becomes his own fast break. And Parsifala, I mean, we have no official word, Aaron, but it doesn't look like he's going to play. He's got that back brace on, and he did not take a single warm-up shot at halftime. But you never know. He's got that Theragun, and stranger things have happened. But
now Pack gets subbed out pretty early on here in the second half, and Jadon Jones takes the floor. Less than 2 minutes into the second half.
And it's not foul trouble. Nigel Pack only has one personal foul.
See how long he's on the bench for. Davis averages 13 a game. That last bucket that he made his first points today, he was 0 for 6 in the first half. The extra pass from Brown. The threes continue to rain for Oklahoma.
Yeah, big sign for Xavier Brown to his second three of the game, and I thought he passed up an early first one.
Mandzukic, no good. A lot of threes for the Cowboys in the first half. They took 14 threes in the first half of the game.
Yeah, a little uncharacteristic, but for Oklahoma, Porter Moser said, we need to make the extra pass. Turn down good shots to get great ones. How about there? 2 Sooners turned down what I thought would be pretty good shots for a wide open 3.
You might not be the best judge of what's an open shot, Casey.
You might be correct.
He's always open. And he was that time, but no good from Reed. Clary, wow. How did he hold out of the ball? He's fouled.
Yeah, some drives are more like probing drives, like seeing what you have. And then there are other drives that are body seeking, like I'm going to make the official blow the whistle whether they want to or not, and that's how that drive from Clary was.
He's back at the line. He's made his last 2. Junior guard from Virginia Beach, Virginia. This is a revamped Cowboys team. There's not a single player for Oklahoma State playing today who was a part of this game last year, a game that went to the Sooners. They led wire to wire, a 15-point win. Talk checks in. Davis to the bench.
And the head coach for Oklahoma State, Steve Lutz, he's happy, of course, about their record and their 9-0 start, but he knew coming in that this was going to probably be their biggest test defensively. Defensively, this team has been up and down like a roller coaster, inconsistent with their effort, their tops, their switches, and it's burned them a few times already.
Lutz saying that the defensive issues are strictly effort, 100% effort from his players. Pretty pass, McGee, tough angle, tries to create one and can't put it through.
Christian Coleman and his length made that shot miss. He made him adjust midair. Coleman feels like he's got a mismatch underneath against Brown.
Clary with a pretty pass, denied at the rim, a talk. Talk on the other end. He hit one of the first half. Miller bumped, deflected, and held on to by Vukovic.
Somebody stick a fork in this basketball for Oklahoma State. Getting a little sloppy.
Miller, pretty drive, high off the glass, no, but a foul.
That's going to be a shove on Vukovic. Going for that offensive rebound, and Oklahoma State, they're getting good looks, they're getting close shots at the rim, but if not converted. And I'm not going to claim that the Cowboys have to play perfect basketball to win. They're certainly talented enough, but they are missing way too many easy shots around the rim today.
0 for 6 for the Cowboys in the second half. All four of their points have come on 4 free throws from Clary. Forsythe back on the floor now for Oklahoma. He pulls up at the elbow.
This lineup for Oklahoma Sooners only has one starter, Xavier Brown. The rest are bench players. Porter going deeper into his bench here early in the second half.
Coleman. It's down essentially a free throw.
Well, he had 16 points last game against Grand Canyon. That game was played in Phoenix, Arizona, and almost all of them were in the second half. And he seems to be more comfortable in the second half for whatever reason.
Off the back heel, long shot, long rebound,
Nice.
lob. Oh! One hand, throw it down. Kai Rogers check it in. Coleman hanging on the other end over Rogers, and let's see if they tag a foul that time on Mandzukic. A little above the rim, flying high for the Sooners.
Dayton Forsythe, the native from Oklahoma, and the Cowboys need to make Forsythe a finisher, not a passer. Well done.
Nigel Pack gets subbed out fewer than 2 minutes into the second half, and
yeah, Aaron, I watched him this entire huddle and watch. He's talking to the trainer, and then he's going to have his hands on his knees. It looks like he can't stand up for more than about 10 seconds. This is now a live look at Nigel Pack, who is he's not off the floor, of course. He's near the tunnel, but he can't stand up. And I assume it's more of like a stomach bug or a back issue.
He's making his way to the locker room right now. So Pack is out of this game for now. Fowler is, we believe, done for the day for the Cowboys on the other side. A talk. Fowler, who's had a back issue, played just 10 minutes in the first half, no points, 1 rebound. One of the Cowboys' most impactful players. Well, out of bounds.
There's something weird going on in that corner there, Aaron.
It's that negative step you're talking about.
That negative step.
I feel like I've taken too many already.
Oklahoma had a negative step in the corner, and that time the Cowboys. I thought, though, that Victorious Miller, number 5 in white, had a wide open gap driving lane and chose to pass it up. Not sure why he's doing that.
Forsythe on the drive. Is he trying to pass there? Turns it over. Mandzukic hands it off. What physical there. Forsythe. You can tell, is he from Oklahoma?
Yeah, this game means more to him than any other player, probably. And watch here, is there a push? Oh, yeah.
Boy.
Another two-hand shover. He was already going Pete Rose style, and then Clary just, accelerated the process.
And there are not many in this game from Oklahoma. But Dayton Forsythe certainly is from Dale, Oklahoma. Did not practice all week because of an ankle injury.
Yeah, it's his right ankle. I know he's got a red leg sleeve on his left, but the injured ankle is his right ankle.
5 to shoot for Coleman. No woo now. I was about to say no whistle, but there was one, a touch after that. Coleman on the drive. Foul.
When I watch Christian Coleman play, the thoughts that come to mind is he lacks for nothing physically. I mean, if you built a small forward at the college level in a laboratory, he would play like Christian Coleman, long and lanky, super skilled, bouncy off the floor, good touch around the rim, dunks everything when he gets close.
UAB transfer. Coleman 3 block shots in this one today. Career high is 4. Gets both. And Pack is coming back on the floor. So that's good news for Oklahoma.
No doubt. I mean, we'll see. Obviously, we're going to watch him play. We still don't have a word. That was just Dr. Casey Jacobson speculating about what might be wrong with Nigel Pack. We have no idea. Let's keep an eye on number 9.
Only a 5-point game. Davis to drive into the corner. Pack wasting no time and misses. And loose ball. Here comes Curry. Ahead. Clary. And it goes through. He's in double figures.
That's how the Cowboys want to play. Point guard, and finally the Cowboy fans are on their feet.
One possession game. Pass into the paint. Davis. The kick out. Pack. The fake. NBA three short. He'll stay on this end.
Grab a rebound and no hesitation. Run, run, run. Jalen Curry to Kanye Clary. They're going to change this call. Well, the referees got together. They're going to change it.
It is Oklahoma State ball now.
This was initially called Sooners ball, and well done by the officials without a review, by the way.
Up Davis's hand. Oh boy. And no good. And we thought Coleman might throw that one down.
You and me both.
Three-point lead still for Oklahoma. Pack has not scored since halftime. Of course, spent a good amount of that time on the bench. Pack trying to get past Coleman. He weaves through and a foul. Fouled as he gets helped up. Coleman, his first.
Wow, individual. I thought Christian Coleman did a really nice job, but watch at the very end. Yep, before the block shot, Nigel Pack starts his upward motion and gets hit on the arm. But look, it's such a difficult ask, even for an athlete like Christian Coleman, because of the quick shot release that Nigel Pack has. You have to crowd him. You don't have a choice.
Good on the first.
And Aaron, Nigel Pack's played like 2 minutes, and he's already gotten up 2 threes, a driving foul, and now he's at the foul line.
Miller out. Roy is in. Both leading scorers for both sides have not scored in the second half until that free throw that Pack just made. Anthony Roy, 13 points all in half number 1. Gets both. Pack, a guy who does not shoot a whole lot of free throws.
Yeah, he doesn't drive it to the rim all that often. Here a 2-3 zone. Again, we saw just a couple of possessions from Oklahoma in the first half. They're breaking it out again to try and disturb the rhythm.
Coleman trying to clear some space. Misses the bunny. Gets his own miss. Trying to find a way back up. Instead, to the top and Clary. He takes it and splash hit. 3-ball. Coleman down and a whistle after the shot was made.
Christian Coleman is claiming that he got elbowed on the scrum for the rebound. And he's asking the referees to take a look at this on the monitor.
We've had one flagrant foul already in this game. It was early on in the first half.
Watch number 4 in white. He's coming from the top on the corner. Oh, yeah, right there. Absolutely.
It's previous play is under review.
It's Wagee for a second time. And if you get a second flagrant one, you are ejected from the game, Aaron.
It was Wagee who did something similar to Miller in the first half. They looked things over. We'll step aside. 2-point game at OKC. This is fairly early on in the game. Coming down the floor, a flagrant one was
after review. We have a flagrant foul on Oklahoma, red 5. Oklahoma State will be shooting 2 free throws and will have the ball on the baseline with a 20-second shot clock.
And here's what just happened. The almost identical foul on Christian Coleman by Wagee, so his second flagrant.
Yeah, so Wagee's got a bad habit of letting his elbows come over above his shoulders. He's got to correct that immediately, but you know, I was mistaken, folks. Going to break, I thought that 2 flagrant 1 fouls would lead to an ejection. I was corrected by the officials. you're allowed to have 3 flagrant 1 fouls before you would be ejected. Any flagrant 2 at all at any time would automatically lead to an ejection.
Coleman misses the second. So McGee back on the bench for the second time following a flagrant foul.
He only has 4 points and 4 rebounds, but he does lead Oklahoma defensively in block shots.
Coleman wide open, 2-hand flush. Cowboys on top. Oklahoma State leading for the first time since 17-16. Offensive rebound, Davis to put back and a foul. Instant replay brought to you by Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Well, Christian Coleman's had several opportunities where he hasn't dunked the basketball. We've been waiting, yes, on the balls of our feet. And, you know, Christian Coleman, his effort level has been awesome to watch on the last possession. Even though Tay Davis is shooting 2 free throws for Oklahoma, Christian Coleman attempted to block multiple shots on that defensive possession. He's got his hands on his knees right now. He's exhausted, but he's earned it. Oh, wow. What a tip by Jadon Jones.
Brown. Loose ball and a foul as they were all up in the air.
Yeah, so Jadon Jones got the first tip. It was successful. Then that 3 goes up, Aaron, and he crashes a second time, flies in, and watch him over the back here. Left side of your screen, number 12. And right there, that is absolutely a good call, no doubt. And bodies are just hitting the deck, left and right. I'm here for it.
That's his second tied game. Curry, what a pass! Copy and paste! Another 2-hand dunk, Christian Coleman.
What a dime by Jalen Curry, the lefty. Well, this game has changed, partner. The momentum of this thing has swung big time over the last couple of minutes. And Oklahoma State operating out of the half court. Jalen Curry, watch that pocket pass. Beautiful. And Christian Coleman again with the finish.
Today's game summary sponsored by Progressive. Get slam dunk savings today. Oklahoma 10 made threes. Most of those coming in the first half. Meanwhile, points in the paint certainly favoring Oklahoma State. Cowboys came out of the halftime into the second half, and they started 1 for 8 from the field. They're 4 for 6 since.
Getting back to what the Cowboys do, though, Aaron. Oklahoma State averages 91 points a game, folks, but most of their scoring is inside of the arc and at the foul line. That's what they've been doing here in the first, 8.5, 9 minutes of this second half. Meanwhile, the Sooners, that was a good snapshot of what they do as well. The Sooners are a jump shooting team. They need the 3 to go down to really open up things for everybody else.
Been a 12-3 Cowboys run in about 3 minutes.
And out of the timeout, Porter Moser gets an isolation for Tay Davis, their second leading scorer, who has really struggled to make an impact. Just 1 for 7 from the field is Tay Davis, a really good driving, slashing wing.
And foul on Coleman in second. Yeah, Davis scoreless in the first half. Brown able to rattle it through.
Just kind of simple basketball, Aaron, taking what the defense gives. If they're going to drop coverage, meaning the defender on the ball is going to drop and protect the basket, then Brown's got to take those mid-range ones.
Tied back up. Roy, a quiet second half. 13 of the first, none since, and too strong. Davis the board.
Got a wide open driving lane to Davis, chose not to take it.
Pack, pretty pass. McGee fouled on his way to the rim. That's the third on Coleman, and fouls in back-to-back possessions.
Both of these teams have proven to be efficient at what we call the pocket pass, Aaron. It's, you know, a pick and roll can happen anywhere on the floor, and the ball handler, that pocket pass, the defense always creates a pocket. Even in a trap, there's a little pocket that presents itself, and you got to be able to thread the ball through that small pocket. And that time, they did it, and McGee is the beneficiary, but he struggled at the foul line today.
Has not been good for the year. Coleman with that third foul now is to the bench. Vukovic checks back in. So does Victorious Miller. And they're one heavy, so here comes Coleman. He checks out.
Again, if you're a Cowboy fan watching this game, you have to wonder what this game would look like if Parsa Fowler was healthy and in. He certainly would change the dynamics on both ends of the floor. One of the better post scorers in the Big 12 Conference.
Has not played since halftime. 10 minutes in the first half for Fowler. No points and just one rebound. Getting the back issue. Miller baseline drive cut off. Long pass, Clary. Step back three.
That basketball was halfway in the hole. Oh.
Oklahoma by one as we have hit the midway point in the second half.
Look at Tay Davis really trying to post up here. Yep.
And he gets, oh, he walked. He backpedaled, moonwalked his way to a travel.
He was working hard, though, and he was rewarded with a touch. And then I think the chair just got pulled out from underneath him. Actually, I mean, was that a travel? I don't know, man. You're looking at me sideways, Aaron, so clearly you think it was a good call.
It seemed like a travel.
All right.
Curry,
nice.
Hanging, draws contact, and a clean block. Man, that was pretty. Brown trying to create. Davis going up off the glass. Tay Davis. 360. How many bunnies have the Cowboys missed?
I mean, it's been at least 5 or 6.
Forsythe fouled on his way to the rim.
At least 5 or 6 layups that normally go in, and we're talking like, you know, 80 to 90%, you know, rate, and the Cowboys are leaving points on the table.
Forsythe to shoot. Trying to extend a 3-point lead for the Sooners. And he does. Pack back in. Forsythe, the former Oklahoma State Player of the Year in high school, 3-time state champion. He gets both. 7-0 OU run. Clary gets a breather. Curry running the point. Miller, step back three. He drills it.
What a difficult shot, because that was good defense by Rogers. You make him take a tough, contested corner 3 fadeaway. There's not much else you can do.
Back to a 2-point game. Pack trying to counter. Rogers first touch it, then it just got volleyballed out of bounds. And it's Oklahoma State ball.
Aaron, you could play good defense and still get scored on. And right here, a late switch, a late contest, but look, man, a step back 3 in the corner with a hand up. Now, I guess you could do a little bit better by being up higher early, but that is still the degree of difficulty on that one is high. And look at the three-point shooting has been one of the big stories in this one.
Oklahoma can tie or take the lead. High touch Vukovic. Miller, heat check 3, rattles out.
nice, well-executed play. And Forsyth, as this ball is going to stay with Oklahoma, Forsyth made a defensive mistake. He tried what we call to shoot the gap instead of, trailing the person you're guarding for a three. He tried to shoot the gap. It's a high risk, high reward, and it was risky.
Davis out, a talk in for the Sooners.
And remember, Atak, number 22 in red. He's big, but he is a three-point shooter. He is not a post-up player.
Drive and the bucket. Jeff Lundquo from Oklahoma City. Is that the first time he's touched the ball today?
It is the first time. He can play, though. He's a good three-point shooter. Whoa.
Rogers, he's shown off some real hops today. A talk after the fake. Takes to the rim and converts. A little run here from Oklahoma.
Aaron, am I the only guy in this building that gets super excited about a well-done shot fake? A talk. That was picture perfect. The shot fake and the drive. And now the Oklahoma Sooner fans are on their feet as their Sooners are operating at a high level offensively. That drive by Wonko, the block on the defensive end, and then a talk with the attack. Sooners up 6.
(62-56), Oklahoma leading under 7.5 to play in the 251st Bedlam meeting on the hardwood. It's been an 11-3 Sooners run.
This seems like a critical couple of possessions for the Cowboys.
Roy has been held scoreless in the second half. Ball in his hand, shot clock under 10. Spin cycle and the kick out. 5 to shoot. Miller, step back three, wants another, and he bags another one of them.
And so after starting this game 2 for 9 from the field, Victorious Miller has banged in 2 jumpers on consecutive possessions. He is a scorer that has a short memory.
So is Pack, and he answers. Nigel Pack, 18 on the day. At the rim.
Oh, they're going to count that because Oklahoma Sooner defender pulled the net, which is an offensive goaltend. But that would have been another missed layup if they don't call this for Vukovic. And here's that replay of that three. So difficult, man. And then Nigel Pack, when you switch off on the center, your center's got to be way up. And here, watch the pull down on the net. Barely. That was Nigel Pack. That barely pulled that net. And they called the offensive goaltend.
So it's a bucket for Vukovic and a 4-point game. You want to talk hops. His 4th block. Christian Coleman.
Blocking threes is really hard. He was a couple of steps outside of the lane, but how much ground can he cover, folks? Yikes. It's like he got dropped out of the rafters on that one. Like as a guard, when you're matched up on Christian Coleman and he's 5 feet off of you, you think you're open. You think you can go into the step back off the bounce, but he recovers as well as anybody.
7 on the shot clock. Brown with 5 to shoot now. A foul.
Yeah.
Second on Miller.
Yeah. Miller's upset, but this is the right call. It's almost like we're compared to like fencing. I know nothing about the sport except it has pointy swords. But if you're a defender and you're like using your arms as like fencing swords and jabbing at the player you're guarding, that's going to be a foul call.
In the bonus now.
And I noticed you didn't comment about fencing. You know nothing about fencing either, Aaron.
I'm sure you're going to tell me how many fencing championships Stanford has won.
I actually don't know. I don't even think we have a fencing team. But if we did, we'd be awesome.
13 on the day for Xavier Brown.
And Xavier Brown, prolific three-point shooter. His first 2 years at St. Joe's, he made 132 threes. And it hasn't gone as smoothly this season for Oklahoma, but he's had a nice game today. Maybe he can be the one to close it out.
Clary puts on the brakes. Roy hunting a bucket, driving. No foul, deflected out of bounds.
And Aaron, I thought he blocked that ball and it bounced off of the Cowboy offensive player. But Wagee, watch here. He swats this thing. Oh, maybe not.
3 on the shot clock. And now they reset it to 20.
Mo Wagee, number 5 in red now with 18 blocks on the season, and the next closest teammate for the Sooners only has 5.
Offensive board, no, not controlled. Vukovic had it, then lost it. Brown wide open for days, buries it. Cowboys got to find an answer. It's a block.
Well, with so much attention paid to Nigel Pack, he always draws 2 defenders, and the Cowboys defensively, no rotation, no talk. The most open Xavier Brown has been all day. And folks, remember, coming into this game, he was 0 for his last 14 from the three-point line. He's 3 for 5 from deep today. What a bounce back performance for him.
Into Coleman, hanging, just kind of pushes it off the window. Coleman's had a big second half. 11 points since halftime.
Beautiful drive and finish, but it seems like the Cowboys are having to work extra for every little sliver of daylight.
Brown driving, finger roll, Coleman. That's going to count for 2.
He has to watch out that his head doesn't smack the backboard. That's a problem that, you know, us mortals don't have to worry about. This guy can fly.
So that's a game-high 19 for Xavier Brown. And 7 straight points scored by Brown for Oklahoma. Pack and Wagee out.
Still a lot of basketball left to be played, but I mentioned that this is an important time for the Cowboys. They need to find some rhythm here.
Coleman. Hey, knocks down a 3. Christian Coleman. And what happens down here?
He stepped on the end line.
Wow.
Once you establish yourself out of bounds with 2 feet, you cannot, even if it's just a mistake or an inadvertent step, you can't step on the line there. Really nice pick and pop situation here, wide open for Christian Coleman. Not really his game, but here, watch now. 2 feet out and then back in. Yep, right call.
Good eye by the official. Roy! Big board ripped down by Darian Reed. Roy still scoreless since halftime at 13 of the first.
A massive opportunity to get back in this game off of that inbounding mistake. Goes by the wayside.
Sooners have been hot. They've knocked down 5 of their last 6. Lob pass. Quick pass. Off the glass. Reed, his first points of the second half.
Beautiful pass from Tay Davis as well. That was a hot one, too.
Roy trying to find it this time. And he does! They're not not going away. 5-point game under 4 to play.
No Nigel Pack on the floor. Forsythe is your creator.
Reed with the corner pocket three. Clary somehow gets a shot off. You can count it. Wow.
These are two of the best offensive teams in the country, folks. In the last couple of minutes, our Exhibit A, I present it to you. Up and down we go. We got playmakers, shot makers all over the floor. Clary taking the contact. Yeah, he's small, only 6 feet tall, but he's strong. Well, I mean, they've been certainly, they've been more civil than the players on the floor, certainly. No credit for that. Let's look at the foul trouble.
3-point play. Clary was
the
16.
players are confused here. This should be, this is a 3-point player. We're kind of looking around staring at each other.
That's 12 second half points for Kanye Clary.
Yeah, and Aaron, the Cowboys offense has really relied on 2 guys. Christian Coleman and Kanye Clary have combined for 26 of the 37 second half points.
Brown, meanwhile, has had a monster second half for the Sooners, 19 in total today. Pass to Davis with the fake. Short, follows, puts it in.
When Tay Davis gets in the lane, Aaron, he reminds me of Jimmy Butler for the Warriors. That's what type of game he has. It's really physical, great around the rims, got shot fake, footwork, all that.
Under 3 to play. Coleman doing some work. Finger roll, good.
Jadon Jones tried to take that contact and hit the deck to draw that charge. A risky maneuver that doesn't pay off. Easy one for Christian Coleman, who's been awesome in the second half.
16 since halftime. Both teams hot. Davis in the paint. The kick out. Jones would be his 4th. No good. Coleman outlet. Miller, no numbers, and he'll wait. Clary tries to split. Coleman wide open. Kept alive. Reed with the loose ball. Approaching the 2-minute mark. 5-point lead for Oklahoma.
Nigel Pack has had hardly any rhythm. Just 1 made field goal in the second half, but has he saved his best for last?
Jones, no good again. Long outlet, Coleman. And great hustle. Xavier Brown knocks it away and prevents maybe a finish at the rim.
Absolutely, Aaron. This is not going to go in the stat sheet, folks, but watch Xavier Brown come from the other side of the floor. He saves his team what could have been a highlight reel dunk. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen with this possession, but if the Cowboys don't score, big time effort plays that really, you only see on the film session the following day.
Clary to inbounds. Under 2 minutes to play. Curry, kick out. Coleman. They set things back up. Clary, such a huge second half. He tucks it again. Left hand, throws it up, and it falls through. What a monster second half. Kanye Clary taking over for the Cowboys.
The Cowboys, by necessity, have had to go to a small lineup. You basically have 5 wings or guards on the floor, and so the lane is wide open, folks, and Kanye Clary knows it, right? Christian Coleman is the center, and he's kind of a perimeter player, and so it allows guys like Kanye Clary and Anthony Roy space to drive and make these acrobatic one-on-one plays. Still a very difficult shot by Clary, but he knows the angles.
Had to contort his body so much and still made the shot. Timeout, Oklahoma State. Just under 90 seconds to play. Christian Coleman, the other part of the second half for the Cowboys.
Yeah, 16 points on 6 of 10 shooting, and just watch him. That's a defensive mistake, and he's flying towards the rim. And then here in the double high ball screen, He is so athletic. If you allow him to get that lane, forget about it. You might as well just foul him. And then one-on-one, this is what I'm talking about. He's not necessarily a big back-to-the-basket post guy. He started that ISO on the perimeter, then turned it into a back-to-the-back finish.
Clary and Coleman in the second half have been the offense for the Cowboys. Wow! With two hands and authority. Tay Davis taken off. He's got 9 in the second half.
Seems like both of these teams, Aaron, want shots at the rim, drive the ball.
Roy with an air ball. And he's saying it was deflected.
Tay Davis, just like Christian Coleman that we showed you on those highlights, you give him a runway, and that's what's going to happen. He's going to do chin-ups on the rim all day. But they didn't choose to challenge this.
Roy was pretty convicted that ball was deflected. Wagee instead packed in the corner. No milk some clock. Under a minute to play now. 5-point lead Oklahoma.
A high ball screen with Tay Davis and Xavier Brown. That would be your best offense. And Christian Coleman, that was a mistake, Aaron. If you're going to allow the shot clock to go down, you wouldn't then take a foul with 11 seconds to go. You would play out that possession and see where it goes. That was a mental error by what's otherwise been a fantastic game for Christian.
Both sides in the bonus. Brown, an 89% free throw shooter. He has a game-high 19 points.
It was a one-on-one. So if this is a miss, anticipate that the Cowboys are going to push as fast as they can to try and get a shot within the first 5 or 7 seconds.
20 points today for Brown.
He's barking orders. He's saying, get the ball regardless. Make or miss. Get the ball, get it out, and go. Let's see how fast the Cowboys can go here, Aaron.
Makes them both.
And smart, Porter Moser puts a substitution at the scorer's table. So on a made free throw, you have to allow that substitution to come in, which slows down the Cowboys' attack. Well done.
Here comes Clary. Clary open for 3. Had a good look. Coleman can't hold on to it. He had what looked to be a pretty clear rebound. Forsythe with it, and finally fouled.
The Cowboys got what they wanted. Kanye Clary, who's been one of their best players in this game, a wide open 3 from the wing. Then they get Christian Coleman an opportunity with a offensive rebound finish, and it just falls through their hands. And we still have 32 seconds to go, but these Sooner fans are on their feet. They can smell it.
Forsythe, the sophomore from Dale, Oklahoma.
He's 3 for 3 at the line, trying to make it 4 for 4, Aaron. 0 made field goals for him, only 0 for 1, which means that Dayton Forsythe is still struggling. 1 for 18 from the field in his last 5 games, including today. But Porter Moser trusts him in the end of this game to be on the floor.
Roy, step back, hunts the 3, short. Under 20 seconds to go, and Oklahoma in the 251st meeting of Bedlam on the hardwood will knock down one of the few unbeaten in the country today. 85-76, the first loss for Oklahoma State. Their perfect season no longer. Oklahoma wins their 4th in a row, and one of the great rivalries in all of college basketball.
And of course, some great offensive performances from the Sooners. Nigel Pack, great first half, and then Xavier Brown with a Awesome performance, 21 points for him, but I thought the defense for the Sooners was the headline of this story, holding an Oklahoma State offense that came in averaging over 91 points a game and held them to 76.
What a fun game.
My first time Bedlam, and yes, sign me up for some more.
85-76, the Sooners take down the Cowboys. For Casey Jacobson and our entire outstanding Fox Sports crew, I'm Aaron Goldsmith. We'll send you to K-State taking on Creighton. Right after this, you're watching College Hoops on Fox.